The email hits my inbox at 12:41 a.m. Subject: Belcourt access. Tonight only. No greeting. No signature block. Just 4 lines. After hours entry is approved. You will document the problem artifacts. Condition: come alone. No crew. No live stream. 2 hours. You keep the footage. There's an attachment. A blurred photo of something under glass. Oval shape. Pinched edges. It looks like a mask or a plate, but the shadows don't line up. The blur isn't motion. It's like the object doesn't want to be seen. I read the email twice, then check the headers. The domain is a free throwaway. The IP geolocates to Providence, bounces once, then dies. Classic dead drop. I open the image and push the exposure. The smear resolves into a face with no eyes. Not holes, just blank, smooth fields where eyes should be. Along the top of the glass, I catch a reflection. A gilded frame behind the camera, floral scrollwork, Rhode Island style. Belcourt Castle has a mirror like that in the East Corridor. I've walked those rooms on public tours. I know the moldings. I can match the pattern. Another attachment, a PDF. It's a floor map with 3 red circles and a handwritten note. Ballroom chairs. Gilded mirror. Chapel reliquary. Do not touch the mirror. A second line in smaller print. No flash. I read the conditions again. Alone. No crew. No live stream. I shoot with a body cam anyway, so alone as possible. But no live stream means no real-time safety. If something goes sideways, no one sees it until I upload. That's the trade. I text my producer. Night access at Belcourt. 2 hours. 3 dots. Then, from who? Anonymous. Then it's a no. Sending image. I send the blurred face. 30 seconds pass. Okay. If you go, keep the channel silent. Check in every 15 minutes. If no response, I call it in. Copy. Wheels up in 10. I pack light. 2 spare batteries, short shotgun mic, wide-angle lens, LED panel set to low, IR pocket cam, wrist recorder, nitrile gloves. No tripod. No drone. Quiet is the plan. I print the floor map. The red circles feel like targets, not guidance. At 1:27 a.m., a second email lands. Security is aware. Use the North Service Gate. Code 0909. Under it, a waiver image. Belcourt Foundation disclaims liability for injury, loss, death. Looks official, but the signature line is blank. I screenshot it and leave it unsigned. The drive to Newport is empty. I kill the radio and run a checklist out loud for the camera. Time, place, gear, ground rules. I do not provoke. I do not trespass. I do not touch the mirror. Saying it on record limits stupid choices later. At least that's the theory. I pull up Belcourt on my phone and skim the public notes. Private residence turned museum, mixed collection, known for its ballroom and imported interiors. Nothing about problem artifacts. Nothing about a chapel wing. The PDF had a circle near a corridor that doesn't exist on the public map. Either I'm being tested, or someone wants me to find a door that isn't for visitors. I cross the bridge into Newport. The air gets colder near the water. I park 2 blocks away and walk the rest to keep the car off any security sweep. Body cam on. Wrist recorder rolling. Phone on airplane with Wi-Fi enabled for timecode sync only. The North Service Gate sits in shadow with a keypad on the brick. I enter 0-9-0-9. The pad beeps red. Wrong. I try again slower. Red. I hold my breath and watch for a camera pivot. Nothing moves. I look down. The pad isn't active. The power light is dead. The lock, heavy, iron, and meant to impress, hangs on the chain. It's already open. I step through the service gate and follow the gravel to a side door. A single light is on above a metal box. Inside, a keyring, a printed floor map, and a folded note. No one waits for me. No cameras in sight. The note is typed, not signed. Welcome. 2-hour window. Do not touch the gilded mirror. No flash. Quick intro for the record. I run a channel about objects with histories. Not hauntings, histories. I look for repeat incidents. Injuries around a specific chair, sensors that fail near a single cabinet, provenance that breaks at the same collector's name. I pull conservation logs, insurance claims, catalogs. If a story survives contact with paperwork, I cover it. If it's just a campfire story, I pass. Body cam is rolling. I pan the kit. Spare batteries, IR pocket cam, small LED at 10%, contact mic, handheld EMF, nitrile gloves, tape tabs for marks. No Ouija boards. No calling out. I'm here to observe, record, and leave. I open the note again. One more line in small font. Alarms disabled until 3:30. Doors rearm without warning. That means if I'm still inside after the cutoff, I eat a police report. That's a cost. Also a risk for the channel. Trespass is a strike on platforms. One strike too many and I lose the audience, the sponsors, the work. That's stake one. Stake two, safety. Museums hide hazards. Arsenic in taxidermy, mercury in old mirrors, loose wiring in display cases. I put on gloves. I clip the respirator to my belt in case I catch a whiff of solvents or mold. Stake 3. Access. This invite is a crack in a sealed door. If I break trust, I won't get another. If I follow the rules and bring back proof, I earn more access elsewhere. I say that on camera, so I'm accountable later when adrenaline kicks in. I flip the floor map. The rooms are labeled by period and wing. Ballroom in the center. Mirror corridor on the east. A small mark near a service hall with no public tag. 3 red circles highlight targets. Ballroom chairs, gilded mirror, chapel reliquary. Chapel? The public materials don't list a chapel. I point that out to the camera. Either the map is internal or someone added a private nickname. I set ground rules on mic. 1. I document, I don't provoke. 2. I don't move, sit, or touch artifacts. 3. I track time and keep an exit path. 4. If anything medical or structural happens, I bail. 5. I respect closed doors. I tap my watch and set a silent alarm at 3:10 for a hard exit. I test comms. Airplane mode on, Wi-Fi for time sync only. My producer's check-in is set for every 15 minutes. If I miss 2, she calls it in. I'm not a hero. I'm a reporter with a flashlight. I study the keyring. Tags etched with room codes. BLRM, East, Serve 2. One brass key is older, teeth worn. Someone kept it in use. I pocket the ring and hold the map closer to the light. The circle around Gilded mirror looks heavy, like it was pressed down hard. I see an imprint on the paper underneath. Then I notice a second circle, thinner, offset by a few millimeters, in a different ink. Not a smear, not a tracing. 2 passes, 2 hands. The mirror on the map is circled twice. 2 hours, 1 minute and 12 seconds. Serve, 2 key, click. 2 hours, 1 minute and 16 seconds. I'm inside. Dark entry hall. Alarm panel reads, Main bypass 2 to 3:30. 2-hour window confirmed. I shoot the display for the record and set a silent exit alarm for 3:10. Ambient recorder on the console, -12 dB, low cut on. Wrist backup rolling at -18 as safety. Body cam live, 24p, ISO 800, WB 4300K. Thermal on lanyard, auto range locked. I call it out. Time code 2 hours, 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Entry hall, north door, bypass active. Quick sweep at 10% LED, stairs, portraits, a small mirror, not the gilded one. Air 65 degrees Fahrenheit, humidity 54%. No draft. Note the floor creaks, short, high, dry. I mark a quiet path with 2 small gaffer tabs, arrows pointing back to the exit. First portrait, clean plate. Playback shows the eyes tracking a hair too far, likely parallax or autofocus breathing. I lock focus, reshoot. Drift smaller, log it. Optical, review later. I add a slate photo with a ruler in frame to compare angles later. Laser distance from newel to console, 11:3. Tape tab on the floor for shift checks. I jot the number on it so the cam can see it in passing. Noise floor reads -46 dB on the ambient. Good baseline. 2 hours, 5 minutes and 22 seconds, advancing. Sound discipline. Second portrait, woman with fan plate stable, gaze doesn't drift. That supports the lens theory. I avoid glass. Old mercury mirrors spike weird readings, and I don't want reflections folding into the thermal. At the ballroom threshold I stop. Wide body cam hold. Doorway, chandeliers, balcony, empty floor, 10 seconds baseline. I pan 6 degrees left, 6 right, return to center. Still empty. Contact mic on the threshold trim, recorder with 5-second pre-roll. I tag the cable so I don't trip it on the way out. PGAR sensor at knee height on the jamb. Cone aim near left. paired to my phone for a silent vibrate. I wave a hand outside the cone to confirm no false positives. Nothing. Good. Thermal sweep. The ballroom reads 2° F colder than the hall. No hot motors, no footprints, no bodies. Curtains steady. HVAC, vents closed. I tilt up, chandelier arms cool, no ballast heat. 2 hours 8 minutes and 2 seconds, no obvious sources. No entry yet. Lean and right. Harp. 2 rope chairs, matches the note. Quick zoom, 6-second hold, back to wide. I rack focus to infinity, then to 10 feet. Set it at 15 to keep the near field honest. Watch buzz, 15-minute check-in. I whisper, all good, and double tap the mic to send the OK ping. I exhale once to clear motion in my jacket. I step 1 pace over the threshold. Triple buzz on the phone, PR motion alert. Motion, I say, freezing. Wide shot is clean. No figure. Chandelier steady. Curtains still. Contact mic shows a faint tick 2 seconds before the alert. Wood, not fabric. Thermal stays flat. 2 hours 9 minutes and 31 seconds. Motion sensor ping from the ballroom. No subject on the wide. 2 hours 9 minutes and 45 seconds. I take 3 steps into the ballroom. Hold a fresh wide. PR quiet. Threshold contact mic reads normal floor noise. East wall, double door with brass bolts and a fresh paint seam. Sealed from this side. I slide a tape tab under the gap. It lifts, flutters, settles. Draft from a sealed door. No floor vents. HVAC inactive. I film it. Overhead, the chandelier drifts a few degrees, then back. Windows latched. Curtains still. Thermal shows a uniform air column. No plume, no fan heat. Logged as unexplained sway, no measurable airflow. 2 high-back chairs sit roped off, a little too symmetrically. A handwritten tag on the cord, do not sit. Not a printed museum card. Someone wrote this recently. Pocket recorder on the stanchion, slate. Chair pair, south wall, track C. Controlled pass, EMF baseline midroom 0. For MG, west sconce 2 MG, live wiring, expected. Chair A, hands off. Crest rail 0. 6 to 0. 7. Front joinery bumps to 2 MG, then settles near 1. 0. Low for power, high for ambient. I mark the spot with a ruler on video. Magnet trace along the seat. Normal tug on tacks. Stronger pull at 2 points on the front rail, like hidden plate/bracket. Chair B for comparison. Same build, milder readings. Magnet pull softer. Asymmetry noted. Wide pan of the pair. Observation. Chair A shows higher EMF at front joinery and stronger Ferris response. Possible repair hardware, embedded sensor, or reinforcement. No touch. Chandelier keeps that slow drift. I recheck the tape by the sealed door, another clean sideways twitch. Curtains remain motionless. 2 hours and 16 minutes. Check-in. I whisper, all good, and send the OK. Back at the stanchion, I pull levels. Floor noise -42 dB. I hold still, let the room play. 30 seconds of nothing. Then a single broadband groan, close and low, like wood under sudden load. I freeze, eyes on the chairs. They haven't moved. I replay the last 10 seconds in headphones. The groan sits on track C, centered. Not on my wrist recorder, local to the stanchion. I glance at the rope. A minute ago the museum knot was tight. Now the loop hangs loose over the brass, not slacked into an open bend. No one crossed my frame. The wide's been rolling the whole time. I push in on the tag, do not sit, as the rope slips another inch down the post. 2 hours, 18 minutes and 40 seconds. I take the east corridor. Midway on the right, the piece. Tall gilded frame, late 19th century. The glass is foxed in patches. 2 hairline cracks run from the lower right corner. A placard on the chair rail reads, no flash. Taped under it in a different font, no direct eye contact. Not a note I've seen in museums. LED at 5%. I keep light off the glass. 2 hours, 19 minutes and 32 seconds. Gilded mirror located. Foxing, twin hairlines. I set the camera off-axis to capture the corridor in reflection without my front view. Wedge against the casing, focus on the glass plane, not the space behind. Lock white balance. Roll. I mark position with a laser line on the floor in case of drift. On the chest monitor, sconce, rail, crown. Not me. I shift 2 inches. The edge of my shoulder slips into the frame. Hold. 2 hours 21 minutes and 10 seconds, off-axis capture. No front exposure. Sync test, slow finger count in the reflection. No rolling shutter wobble. One hand clap, short echo, the corridor is live. I read the tape again, no direct eye contact. I flip the monitor away so I won't cheat. Thermal scan shows the mirror evenly cold, no cavity heat behind it. Frame joints read ambient. 2 hours 22 minutes and 44 seconds, subject partially present. I look past the mirror at the chair rail. In the reflection, part of my face enters frame. I blink once on purpose. On the monitor, the reflection blinks late. I run it again. I hold my eyes open for 3 seconds. At 2, the reflection does a full blink while mine stay open. I add a control. Metronome app at 60 BPM, speaker low. Blink on the click. Click, no blink from me. The reflection closes on the offbeat. I log it. Playback, last 10 seconds, frame by frame. In the wide, my lids are up. The very next frame in the mirror shows them closed. Repeat with a set pattern. 2 blinks, 0 blinks. The reflection answers 1, 2, and 1 extra. I note offsets and say them aloud for the transcript. I step back 1 inch. In the reflection, my full face appears as if I moved to center. I didn't. I confirm with the laser line. My shoes haven't crossed it. 2 hours 24 minutes and 31 seconds. Nonlinear subject behavior. I raise my palm to block my reflected face. No contact. In the mirror, the hand appears later and lingers longer than the real motion. I try a head tilt left, then right. The reflection matches left late, then overshoots right a beat after I stop. To rule out monitor lag, I set my phone on the rail at 45 degrees, recording both my face and the chest monitor in one shot. I blink once on a verbal count. The phone shows my eyes open while the monitor's reflection drops its lids. It isn't display latency. I check the glass edge for hidden film or screen. Nothing. Just oxidized silver and dust along the rabbit. The hairline crack at the corner hasn't spread. I log condition again. Final test. Blink on 3. 1, 2, 3. The monitor shows me blink. I don't. 2 hours, 25 minutes, and 2 seconds. The mirror's delay tricks aren't new data. I need context. I kneel without touching the frame. Classic French cleat. Top rail floats a finger off the wall. LED off. Penlight rakes the gap. Paper edge. Gloves on. I slide a plastic shim along the plaster and tease the paper down far enough to read it with a telescoping inspection mirror. A museum tag. Aged stock, purple stamp. BL 1987-045. Object. Mirror, French, circa 1880. Material. Gilt wood, silvered glass. Provenance. Redacted. Donor, anonymous. Restrictions, no flash. No direct eye contact. Provenance redacted. And that restriction aren't wall label normal, they're instructions. Deeper in the rabbit, a second strip, thin like receipt paper. I ease it loose. All caps, return to Chapel Wing. 2 hours, 26 minutes, and 41 seconds. Second note located. Reads like a directive, I say. I check the floor plan. 3 red circles. Ballroom chairs. This mirror, chapel reliquary. I scan legends and insets. There is no Chapel Wing anywhere. The public PDF on my phone matches, nothing by that name. Just a service hall dead ending where this corridor should stop. I filmed the printed map beside the mirror. Either an internal nickname or an unlisted space. No prying. I run a laser along the baseboard. The line breaks clean around a pilaster, then continues into what looks like solid wall. Light tap with the plastic shim. Hollow, solid, hollow. Not proof, still a tell. Ambient recorder on the chair rail. Noise floor dash 44 dB. 10 seconds of room tone. On 8, a faint metallic click, like a pull chain somewhere else. I hold a wide on the mirror. In reflection, the corridor behind me looks longer than it is. One extra sconce and a shadowed turn I can't see when I look back. Real wall, flat plaster, dead end. 2 hours, 29 minutes, and 2 seconds. Reflected depth exceeds actual hall length. Mirror may be showing adjacent or altered space. I reslate the hidden tag. Provenance, redacted. Donor anonymous. The warning and the origin were stashed together. Deliberate. Back to the strip. Return to Chapel Wing. Return what? The mirror, the tag, or me? The phrasing assumes the wing exists and that I know where it is. I don't. I align the map's north arrow to the hall. If a wing ran east, it would track past the sealed ballroom doors and along the property line, a blank zone on the plan. Old tax photos I remember show a facade there, no entry. Maybe internal only. Maybe gone, with the label surviving. I pack the inspection mirror and kill the penlight. The ambient spikes. A bell rings, thin, distant, one clean metallic note. In the headphones it images to the east. I look down the real corridor. Plaster stop, no door, no arch. I lift the camera to the mirror. In the reflection, the corridor keeps going, farther than my light, bending slightly right, and somewhere past that bend, the bell rings again. 2 hours, 30 minutes, and 1 second. The bell fades. I don't push plaster. I hunt a service route. End of corridor. A cleaner's door half painted into the wall, louvered, serve, 2 tag. Key turns. I slip in. Brick passage, exposed conduit, low steam lines. Hygrometer climbs. 54%, 61%, 68%. Footsteps ring. Room tone carries a metallic edge around 2 to 4 kilohertz. Logged. 2 hours, 31 minutes and 22 seconds. Following service line east. Dogleg, slight downgrade. Paint shifts to gray. Condensate ticks. LED at 10%. Right side, steel fire door with a torn label under yellowed tape. Store, CH. Latch isn't set. 2-finger push. It opens 6 inches onto a rubber wedge. Short gallery beyond. Concrete floor, 1 wall niche, a single wood plinth display case. Silica gel packets taped inside the glass. Someone fought moisture here. The air smells mineral, like old coins and wet limestone. 2 hours, 33 minutes and 9 seconds. Unlisted gallery. 1 case. I stop at the floor tape. 3 objects on felt. Left, small gilt reliquary with tiny clouded windows. Pencil mount code, CWREL. Center, iron ring with 6 big keys. Rough wards. 1 notch echoes the serve, 2 profile. I note it, no test. Right. Carved wooden mask, oval and shallow. Nail repairs down a Browdichin split. No eye holes, just smooth ovals. Nails look hand-cut. Repairs are recent enough to shine through the grime. Ambient recorder down, new slate. IR pocket cam on a bean bag, lens to glass. 2 hours, 34 minutes and 40 seconds. IR pass. Reliquary reads, even. Keys flare warm. Normal. Pan to mask. The preview tears, horizontal snow. Back to keys. Clean. Mask again. Glitch returns. 2 hours, 35 minutes and 12 seconds. IR glitch only with mask and frame. Battery swap. Same. Widen to include all items. Interference rides only the mask zone, starting 30% into frame. Lens data readout for log. 2 hours, 36 minutes and 4 seconds. Lower gain test. Same. Power cycle. Same. Second IR unit. Older model clean on reliquary, stutter on mask. 2 devices agree. EMF through glass. Baseline 0. 4 to 0. 6 mg. Keys bump 0. 9 then settle. Mask edge 1. 6 to 2. 0. Then under 1. Not a powered emitter, but distinct from the others. Ruler marks in frame for later match. Humidity hits 71%. No hidden vent. No transformer hum. No thermal bloom. Gel packets look pink, spent. I log an action item. Advise conservation, refresh desiccant. I slate a control phrase for the transcript. Front view, 30 seconds, and hold. Noise floor -43 dB. Clean. I circle once around the case perimeter, outside tape, checking for hidden speakers or piezos. Nothing mounted to the plinth. No wiring tails. No magnet pull through the wood. I step back and record a short recap. Then I replay the last 30 seconds in headphones, soloing the ambient track, then my wrist track for comparison. The wrist is clean. A new layer curls under my final word. Close, sibilant, not echo, not crosstalk. It imprints only on the floor unit, inches from the glass. I mark the time code and loop the second. A whisper, trade. 2 hours, 38 minutes and 42 seconds. The gallery is still. 2 rooms back, a door slams. Heavy, single hit. 2 hours, 39 minutes and 4 seconds. The fire door I left wedged is shut. Rubber gone. Latch set from the other side. No light in the gap. Route blocked. I don't force it. Back to the case. Rules on mic. Document, don't touch, don't provoke. One exception, a non-contact test with my own gear. At the tape line, I set the facility keyring, tags BLLRM, East, Serve, 2, on the concrete outside the case, centered on the mask's line, 2 inches shy of the tape. Top-down shot with a ruler, nearest key tip marked at 0 on a gaffer tab. A coin 2 inches left as control. Bubble level reads true. Control question, once. You said trade. If you want something, move the keys. Baseline. Earlier air 65 degrees Fahrenheit. HVAC off. Vents closed. Wrist and floor recorders rolling. The probe on my strap drops fast. 64. 61. 58 degrees Fahrenheit. Breath ghosts on the chest monitor. Hygrometer 71%. EMF at the glass bumps to 1. 9 mg. IR preview tears across the mask's face. Clears. 2 hours 41 minutes and 3 seconds. Chest level temp down 6+. Visible breath. I rake a laser across the plinth and jawline. 3 seconds steady, then the line kinks. The jaw seam shifts down 1 mm. I say it on tape and grab a macro of the kink. Metallic scrape on the floor mic. On the gaffer tab, the nearest key slides to the 1 hash, then stops. Coin unmoved. Bubble level centered. My boots planted on the wide. Thermal shows no plume, no heat bloom. I restate. Route blocked, HVAC off, temp drop measured, jaw shift observed, key movement measured. 1 more neutral line. If the trade is the keys, move them again. Probe dips another degree. Breath thickens. EMF flickers 1. 4 to 2. 2 mg. IR tears and freezes half a beat, then clears. The jaw seam ticks back up like a reset. On the floor, the same key nudges another 1/2 inch toward the tape and goes still, half in shadow, half in the laser spill. I read the new mark. Dust shows a straight skid toward the case. 2 hours, 41 minutes, and 47 seconds. I place a second camera low at 45 degrees to kill parallax/vibration arguments. 1 clap for sync. Noise floor -43 dB with a thin metallic overtone. Behind me, the gallery door tests the latch, single click. Silence. I angle the laser to graze the key's shaft. The beam now breaks on the teeth, closer than before. I pan up, blank ovals on the mask, fresh nail heads in the split. 2 hours 42 minutes and 10 seconds. Hard boundary on record. I will not open the case. I will not sit the chairs. I will leave the keys here. A faint tick on the floor mic. The key doesn't slide farther, but rotates a few degrees, its bow aligning toward the mask. The coin stays inert. I photograph the alignment overhead and call it out. Bow 30 degree toward case. I chalk a tiny arrow on the tape at 1. 5 for later match. Air tastes metallic. Somewhere in the ducting a steady drip starts. I hold the frame. Breath clouds once more. The key waits, angled at the mask. 2 hours 42 minutes and 18 seconds. The key sits angled at the mask. I sweep the plinth and base for any clue I can get without opening the case. Under the wood skirt, there's a shallow service void, 1/2 inch of clearance before the inner plinth. I rake a penlight and use the inspection mirror. Something cylindrical is jammed against a screw head, right where the mask stand would line up above it. Gloves on. I slide the thin plastic shim in from the side and tease the roll to the edge. No contact with the objects, no stress on the glass. I catch the paper with plastic tweezers and pull only enough to read. It's a ledger fragment. A torn page, ruled columns. Shipments. May 12th, 06/03, 07/21, 09/09. In it, R, H/M, L, alternating. Consignee. Care of Belcourt, Newport, Bellevue Avenue. Side note. Chap wing storage. There's a second line in pencil at the bottom. Mask plus keys together. Return set. I film every inch in macro. Then I take 2 stills on the phone with scale and color card. I don't yank the sheet free. I slide it back into the void. Same orientation, same tier aligned to the screw. Documented, not removed. I say it for the record. I'm pocketing only the photo. The page stays here. I cross-check the initials. The throwaway address that emailed me wasn't a name, but the alias in the header read R.H. The SPF comment carried it too. Same 2 letters as the ledger. This wasn't random after-hours access. Someone set the table and left me breadcrumbs. 2 hours 44 minutes and 1 second. The floor mic is quiet again. I chalk an arrow at the key's last mark. 1, 5. Leave the coin in place and back out to the service line. The fire door doesn't budge. I won't burn time or trust forcing it. I take the long way, through the cleaner's door and up the dogleg. Ballroom, 2 hours 46 minutes and 18 seconds. I clear the threshold on the wide, then go straight to the rope chairs. The loop I left loose is hanging lower than before. I retie it with a simple 2/2 hitch, tag in, tape down so it can't slip. I narrate the knot for the edit. No sit, no touch of the wood. I set the pocket recorder back on the stanchion for 1 minute of tone. Clean. Chandelier sway has stopped. Tape tab at the sealed double doors still twitches once every 30 seconds. Same weak draft. No curtain movement. Logged. I check my time. 2 hours 49 minutes and 2 seconds. Exit window ends 3:30. My heart alarm hits at 3:10. I backtrack toward the east corridor for one last controlled pass at the mirror, and then I'm out. 2 hours 50 minutes and 11 seconds. Mirror corridor. Same off-axis setup, LED at 5%, laser line on the floor. The taped placard still reads no direct eye contact. I keep my gaze on the chair rail. The glass returns the corridor as usual for a beat. Crown, sconce, rail. Then the depth shifts. Not a lens pull, an architectural change in the reflection. The far wall falls away. A narrow right turn appears where there isn't one in reality. Stone, not plaster. Damp sheen, low light. I hold the camera steady and glance over my shoulder at the real hall. Flat plaster. Dead end. No turn, no stone. Back to the monitor. The mirror now shows the chapel wing, or what my map never named but the ledger scribbled. A short run of wall niches. The wood plinth case. A shape like the reliquary silhouette 2 rooms behind me. Except I'm not there. I'm here. I test latency with a small hand raise. My reflection in the mirror doesn't raise its hand. It is framed wider, standing somewhere in that stone run, with the gallery behind it. A thin bell taps once, high and cold, from the reflected space. The corridor I stand in stays silent. 2 hours 50 minutes and 38 seconds. The mirror still shows stone and niches. I keep my eyes off glass. I open the ledger photo on my phone. Control. Presenting image. No touch. I hold the screen an inch from the mirror. In reality, a torn, redacted fragment. In the reflection, a full page, clean margins, darker ink, nothing redacted. I read into the mic, flat, shipments, May 12th, June 3rd, July 21st, September 9th. Initials are H, M, L. Consignee, Belcourt, Newport, Bellevue Avenue. Note, chapel wing storage. Then the missing line, straight off the reflected page. Acquisition note. Objects that keep their owners. Keep as a set. Do not separate. 2 hours 51 minutes and 22 seconds. Missing line captured from reflection. The reflected wing dims. One small bell tap. My corridor doesn't change. I step back, log the room state, and pull the PIR off the jam. No gear left behind. 253, side route. The cleaner's door opens on the first push. The fire door latch, jammed before, clicks free. The rubber wedge is back. I film it and move. I pass the gallery. Case intact. Control coin where I left it. Chalk arrow at 1. 5 untouched. The key ring sits at the mark, bow still angled toward the mask. No contact. 256, entry hall. Alarm panel pulses main bypass with a new countdown. Arm I in 33 minutes and 11 seconds. Enough margin, not enough for mistakes. I pack. Ambient, contact mic, laser, tape tabs. 10 seconds of the door wide for the edit. 258, north service door. I key out, close to the contact click. Through the glass, the panel flips to ready, then armed. Stay and start scrolling zones. Early arm or mode change. I'm outside either way. Gravel path. Breath fogs once, then clears. At the service box I return the keyring and map. The note "Do not touch the gilded mirror" goes back under the band. I didn't touch the mirror. I didn't sit the chairs. I didn't open the case. Photos only. Ledger page left in place. 303. I clear the gate. It swings shut. Chain hangs open. Same as arrival. Street side to the car. Gear on the seat. Airplane off. Signal returns. Before I can text my producer, a notification lands. Same throwaway domain. Subject, return. Attachment, img_0341. JPG. I open it. A selfie of me in the ballroom. Chest rig visible. 2 rope chairs behind. Chandelier above. EXIF, 2 hours 16 minutes and 22 seconds. The minute I tied the recorder to the stanchion. Angle, 6 feet to my left at shoulder height. I placed no camera there. I scrub my footage. At 2 hours 16 minutes and 22 seconds, the wide shows only me, the chairs, the knot. No person, no lens, no flare. I look back at the mansion. Dark. Still. The email sits under one word. Return. I face the lens. What we've got. Artifacts flagged as a set. A mirror that reveals unredacted records. A reflected wing that isn't on this floor. Track temp and EMF anomalies. And a photo of me from a camera I didn't deploy. I'm releasing this as is. If objects that keep their owners rings a bell in any Rhode Island archive, cite it in the comments and hit the tip line. I'm not going back alone. I start the engine. Another buzz. Same sender. Same subject. Just one word again. Return, this time with no attachment.